Hello, everyone. Welcome to Bow and Arrow Tarot and this special pick a card reading, No Contact, but What Are They Thinking? I'd like you to take a moment, sit back, relax, think about your particular situation of no contact, and allow your gaze to go to the pile that draws your attention the most. We have pile number 1 with the Pyronite, pile number 2 with the Quartz Crystal, and pile number 3 with the Red Jasper. And we will be right back to start off with pile number 1. All right, everyone, we're ready. We're ready to start with pile number 1. First things first, I'm going to pull out the 2 animal spirits representing you and the person in this no contact situation. We have the starfish, interesting, water energy, and we have the moth. Wow, okay. Now, let's pull out the cards that represent the energies between the two of you and what they may be thinking. Emptiness, wow. And disconnected, okay. All right, this is going to be an interesting read. And the final card is, what can you do about it? Your next move, the next stage, all right? We have support. Okay, oftentimes support is the first thing that we need when we're dealing with no contact, especially support from loved ones and friends. So right away, let's just jump into who the two of you are. Starfish energy, well, and the moth, air. The starfish is water, the moth is air. The starfish is someone who is, I dare say, a phony. Because these animal spirits have a lot of meanings and a lot of layers to them. But in the context of the no contact pick a card reading, the starfish is someone who only cares about how they look. Their ultimate aim is, how do I look to the outside world? The starfish individual who really resonates with the shadow of the starfish is someone who leans into their good looks, maybe their wealth, the way that people perceive them from the outside. And that's all they really care about. They really don't have much else to offer. They kind of just are there, just like a starfish just lays there and just allows itself to be the starfish that it is. And this is someone who can't go very deep at all. Now we have the moth. Interesting. I wonder which one you are. I suspect that you coming to this reading are the moth, because the moth, unfortunately, is someone who's drawn to the flame. The moth oftentimes is distracted by glittery things and things that look beautiful, and why not? But unfortunately, the moth can be very trusting, right? And the moth doesn't imagine that what it sees to be so beautiful can be so dangerous. So just as we say the moth to the flame, this is the energy of moth energy. So I suspect right away you're dealing, you're having no contact with someone who's really burned you in a way, right? You were drawn into them. And everything about the way they presented themselves was perhaps beautiful and alluring and attractive. But at the end of the day, here we are, no contact, right? So now let's get into what's going on with their energies, right? I'm going to start off actually with that 5 of Swords. There is a feeling here of shit. They walked away from me. Now, I'm going to say right away, this individual probably feels as though they've won. All right, 5 of Swords is the card for the defeat, but on the surface there is an arrogance, a hubris here, a feeling of, yeah, I've won. Okay, so what? They walked away, but we're gonna go deeper. So right now they're very braggadocious. They're very you're dealing with someone who is just an egoist, right? And so the no contact right now, I think to a certain degree, they're taking it almost as a win. They almost see it as having affected you so deeply that you no longer can have contact with them. And so on the surface, they see it as a win. But trust me, we're going to go deeper on this. And then we have a 2 of Swords here, and there's a decision. Now suddenly comes a decision. So where they were feeling like, hey, I won this battle, there is a period of time that comes, or a period of time that goes by, and now they're at this stage where they're like, hang on a second, I've got a difficult decision to make. I don't know what that decision, how I'm going to make it. There's a couple of choices. And they're lost, right? Moon and Libra energy. They're absolutely lost and really unsure of which way to go. So we have a timeline energy here. And on the surface, at the beginning, of course, we have this energy, as I say, of, yes, I've won. I've gotten them to be so upset with me that they will no longer speak to me. And in a twisted kind of way, this is something that somebody who resonates with starfish energy would enjoy or would call a win. But then they find themselves stuck at a decision. And ultimately, where do we go? We have a Page of Swords. Page of Swords is a very kind of like, I really want to talk. I really want to reach out. Suddenly they are a child again. The page is a youth, a young person, represents youthful, young energy. And I think in this instance here, I'm feeling strongly that this person suddenly realizes that, oh man, I'm lost without them, perhaps, or I'm empty without them. Let me pull some more cards before I get to the shadow cards down here. Your person is, at first, I'm going to say, they were feeling quite emboldened. They were feeling quite powerful in this no contact situation. But they certainly have sort of veered into territory where they find themselves desiring to talk with you, even if it's just a little bit. Page of Swords is like just a text or just a word. It's not a huge amount of communication, but it's a deep desire to communicate at least a little bit. Knight of Wands energy. Yeah. At first, they were very sort of bombastic about it. This is probably somebody who the no contact really made them feel bigger than they are. Knight of Wands can also be very erratic, very impulsive, right? They may have acted very impulsively. That may have been what led to the no contact, just their behavior. May have been just so out of pocket, just so like too much, wanting what they wanted, such an egoist, so much fire there, but the dark side of fire, right? Lovers. And this is the decision that they're coming to. They know they love you. They know they desire you and want you, whatever love is for this individual. People can, even though love oftentimes can display itself in a way where you say to yourself, well, that's not love. You never, it all depends on that person. What is love for one person isn't love for another person. And some people only know how to love one way, even if that way of love is toxic. Even at the end of the day, you have to say goodbye to that person. Doesn't necessarily mean that they don't love you, right? But it just means that their love is toxic. And they are realizing that you are their connection. They are absolutely realizing that, I need to make a decision here. This love connection is slipping away from me. And Hermit energy, they're alone. Left alone with their thoughts. Left alone with their thoughts and with this deep, deep desire to have any kind of contact with you. But they are alone. This person hasn't run into the arms of someone else. They haven't forgotten you, right? The no contact here absolutely indicates that it's forced them to have to look within, right? Now, did they do the work? I cannot say that, right? I don't have any energy on that. That's not what this reading is about. But they are alone. So let's get into how they're feeling right now. Ooh, empty and disconnected. You may have been the one thing that connected them to the world. You may have been the one thing that made them feel, sometimes, people just siphon and draw on your energy, and it allows them to feel connected to the world. It allows them to feel full. Now that you're gone, now that there's no contact, this person is absolutely empty, disconnected, unmoored. Yeah. What comes next for you? Support. Continue. I would say, listen, no tarot reading can tell you what to do. You have to, take it as it comes and how it resonates for you. But the most important thing right now for you is to lean into the support of people who love you. people who are on your side, people who make you feel as though you're safe and who respect your decisions, right? And back them up. People who have your back. People who have your back, because I suspect, and I have a strong feeling here, as a moth energy, you are someone who's probably quite empathetic, drawn into individuals. And again, this person is the fire, right? So as they go through their little, decisions and wrangling with themselves and ultimately desiring to connect with you, because of course now they're unconnected, they feel empty, they feel alone. Lean into the people that you trust the most in your life to support you in your decision. Certainly, if this person tries to come into you, even though you have no contact, they will try to reach out to you in some kind of way. And this is when you'll need that support. Some of you are dealing with a Scorpio. Shocker. Some of you, I gotta keep it real. Some of you are dealing with an Aries. Fire energy. And some of you are dealing with a Leo. Damn. I mean, listen, that makes a lot of sense. And no shade on Scorpio, Aries, or Leo, but we all know what it is. All right, guys. So I'm going to leave it at that. This was pile number 1. If you want to get a personal reading to look into your particular situation of no contact, there's a variety of personal readings that I provide. There's the personal question and answer session that I provide for you. It's a 10-minute reading that you can receive that will be delivered to you same day. And the information should be underneath. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. But for right now, this is your reading pile number 1. And I'll be right back with pile number 2. All right, everyone, welcome to pile number 2 for the pick a card, no contact, but what are they thinking right now? And we are going to start off with the 2 animal spirits to represent the energies that are you and your person. We have the fish and the panther. Wow. All right. Now let's take a look at what's going on between the two of you. We have magician energy, the hanged man, and the Queen of Wands. And what is going on with their emotions? Haunted and shocking. Wow. All right. Your support, your next step for you, communication. All right, guys, let's get right into this reading. We're going to be pulling more cards for sure, and I'll be pulling zodiac runes to let you know what kind of star signs you might be dealing with. But right now we have fish energy and panther energy. The fish is water, the panther is fire. The fish is someone who doesn't stick around. Let's get right to it. The fish is someone who just goes with the flow. Wherever the current leads it, that's where it goes. It never stays around long enough to bond, to, have roots, to increase trust and loyalty, to progress in, just to stay long enough so that the relationship goes deeper. Fish energy is shallow. It is temporary. It's whatever works in the moment, right? And then wherever life leads them. Oftentimes, fish energy people do not take responsibility for their decisions to move on. This is, the constant sort of the eternal phrase for fish energy individuals are, oh, I let life take me wherever it wants to. And it's that's very trite and convenient, but really what it is it's not taking responsibility for having a lack of commitment, right? Now the panther is fire energy, and the panther comes in like chaos, just disrupts everything. But oftentimes the panther is so necessary to break up stagnant energy, dusty energy. The panther comes into a room where everything's just kind of been sitting there for so long that there's an inch of dust on it and things have been left in places you almost forget they even exist. Well, the panther comes in and tears that all up and disrupts everything. And once the dust is settled, you realize there's so many things in that room, in that life, in your current environment that no longer serve you, and they can just be thrown away. It's time to get rid of them. It's time to disconnect from those things. Certainly, it's time to not have those things in your space. Right now, what's going on? Let's talk about a magician energy. Somebody who's extremely capable, talented, doesn't need anything, right? Has everything that they need to manifest what they want within them. That's the magician. The magician doesn't need to rely on any person, place, or thing to achieve what he wants to achieve. He understands his power, he understands his talent, and he understands exactly how to use it. So I wonder, this may indeed be an energy that you resonate with. I dare say it is your energy rather than a person you've instantiated no contact with. But then we have the hanged one, or in most cases called the hanged man. This is someone who sticks by their position, right? They insist on seeing the world in a different way from everyone else, and they don't really care what anyone thinks about it. But at the same time, this position that they've taken oftentimes has kept them stuck, right? Now, it's not stuck in the sense that they've chosen for this. They've chosen to put themselves in this position that doesn't allow them to grow or move or change or look outside of anything but what they insist on seeing. So this is, in the case of this reading, this is an individual who just insists on viewing the world the way they choose to view the world. And no matter how much that doesn't work for them, or no matter how much it constantly causes conflict, turmoil, right? Miscommunication, misunderstanding, they stay with that. They're just unwilling to change and unwilling to move, oftentimes unwilling to put the work in. And there's also an energy here of feeling better than others. I see the world differently, so I'm much better. I'm enlightened, but oftentimes, as with all tarot cards, there's so many layers and different meanings depending on the reading and the question. But in this case, we're talking about somebody who just, they are unwilling to accept the fact that their vision of the world is not what it is and doesn't suit them or anyone else. There's a stubbornness here that I feel. And now you also have Queen of Wands. There is an energy here, someone being involved, I'm going to say, who's very overbearing, domineering, very powerful, but also quick to anger, right? Quick to make enemies when they don't agree with them. Queen of Wands is a strong, beautiful energy, but the shadow side of her can be very petty. The shadow side of the Queen of Wands can be very jealous, can feel very entitled, right? And so this feels to me like an energy of somebody who's been involved in this situation and may not have been any help whatsoever, honestly, but may have exacerbated. Almost feels like this is an enabler for this individual. Could be mommy issues, or daddy issues. Queens don't always have to be men, always have to be women. They can be men too. We're talking about an archetype here. So also, I dare say that you may be dealing with somebody who has those type, mommy or daddy issues, but I feel more, mommy issues in a sense of, this individual coddles them, allows them to maintain this kind of immature attitude. And I think that it may have interfered into your relationship to such a degree that you had to have no contact. In this pile, I would say you may have had to have no contact with more than one person. Four of Cups, Nine of Wands, and the Knight of Swords. Four of Cups, yeah. I think this is very much, the Magician is very much your energy here, because the Four of Cups is someone who's finally decided, you know what, I don't want that cup of love. I don't want what you have to offer. Could very well be also that that Four of Cups could be this fish in your life, this person that you have no contact with, in a sense that they may have really taken your love that you provide for granted. So this could go either way. Take it as it comes to you, how it resonates to you. But definitely there's a sense of blocking the love, a sense of saying no, whether that be them not appreciating the cup of love you've been trying to give them or that you've been trying to establish, or whether it may be you saying, look, I've had enough of you, right? Either way, take it how it resonates for you. We also have to have Nine of Wands here along with that Hanged Man. So again, constant battles. This is what I've said earlier. I feel like this individual, because of the stubbornness of the way they insist on holding on to things, they continue to have battles in their lives. They continue to have turmoil. They continue to find themselves lost. Lost because they just can't break through. They're unwilling to break through and see things for what they are. Knight of Swords energy. Yeah, Queen of Wands, Knight of Swords energy. Definitely there's been somebody involved that has actively sort of come between you and this individual or exacerbated the issues between you and this individual. They've constantly had something to say. They've constantly really inserted themselves. Knight of Swords energy is somebody who definitely actively strategizes, ways to sort of get involved, ways to, and in the context of this reading, ways to sort of get involved, create wedges, block positive flow, right? Constantly disrupt things whenever they are progressing or going well. So, now, this is the kind of energy that you're dealing with this individual. And I'm going to say that to a certain degree right now, this person is being absolutely held up. While you have no contact, this person is absolutely being supported by this Queen of Wands, who's continuing to sort of bolster them in the sense that, well, that's okay. You don't have any contact. You don't need them anyway. You just stay right where you are, which is stuck in your own sort of head, stuck in your own view of the world, and ultimately still struggling, haunted and shocking. Well, how do they feel? I think they're going to have some revelations coming in. There's a strong feeling I have that this individual is going to find out who the true enemy is to a degree. They're going to find out, and that's going to be what's shocking. They're going to find out very quickly, and this is coming in probably, as I say, through communication, but not from you necessarily. But they're going to find out that the true sort of fly in the ointment, or one of the main reasons why they continue to have problems and issues, and specifically with you, is because of this Queen of Wands. And what they find now is going to shock them. They're going to be haunted. They're haunted. They're haunted by the decision making. They're haunted by the way things went. There are things here that happened between the two of you. Especially, I feel so strongly about this Queen of Wands, that they allowed to happen, that they are haunted by now. And there may even be things that you don't know about. What's the next step? Well, we have communication here. You may decide to communicate with them, or they may decide to communicate with you. But there will be a reach out, I mean, no contact, it's like, how sure are, how long do these no contacts last? Sometimes you have to, sometimes you have no contact with somebody, and then you come back into contact and no contact. And this happens for a little while before there's a final cut. There's almost always a final cut, or there's just continuing abuse, turnaround, turmoil. There's a reason we have no contact. Somewhere along the line, something was either abusive or just toxic, right? So either it proves to be permanent at some point, or you continue in that cycle. And so communication in this regard here, it may indeed be that communication begins again between the two of you for whatever reason. All right, guys, let's go ahead and pull out the zodiac signs for this pile too. See what kind of zodiac signs the two of you are dealing with, specifically Cancer. Some of you dealing with Cancer energy. Some of you are dealing with a Taurus. And some of you are dealing with a Pisces. Interesting that we will get the fish. Now, the fish animal spirit and Pisces have nothing to do with each other. However, it is interesting. All right, guys, thank you so much. If you want to get a personal reading into your particular situation of no contact, you can look in the description. There's a variety of personal readings that I provide, or you can just order the 10-minute recorded question and answer reading, which I provide for you, supplied to you the same day, and the information will scroll below. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. All of that really helps my channel. But for right now, everyone, I thank you for giving me the opportunity to provide you with this pick a card, no contact, but what are they thinking reading, and I'll be right back with pile number 3. All right, everyone, welcome to pile number 3. We're going to get into pulling out, first of all, the 2 animal spirits representing you and the individual in this no contact situation. We have the sea serpent and the cosmic egg. Wow, okay. 2 ether animal spirits. Let's take a look at what's going on between the 2 of you. The Tower, the 7 of Cups, and the 6 of Swords. Wow. Okay. Move this around a little. Now we have the specific emotions and energies, doubt and cold, and your support, your next step, your support. Okay. Folks, let's just jump right into it. Sea serpent and the cosmic egg. Well, the sea serpent is representative of the 2nd chakra, and the cosmic egg is the 7th chakra. So the sea serpent is, animal spirit representing creation, creativity, the ebb and flow of life and death itself to a degree. We recreate ourselves, right? Every level of creativity is a level that comes after the ending of a previous level, sort of a rebirthing as it was, or a renewing more like, right? So sea serpent is the essence of creativity, that constant flux, that constant change and shifting of energies from one level to the next. And the cosmic egg is completion. It's the other completion where we see that in the end, we are just back at the beginning again. These are really heavy, heavy sort of animal spirits. One is steeped in the essence of creativity, and the other is steeped in the essence of life itself. Now, you can take it for how it resonates to you and which one resonates with you. But I would say Cosmic Egg is probably more or less your energy coming to this reading as the person with no contact, because, this is a renewal in a way, a new life, a new start for you. Now, let's get into it. The tower, something has happened. Something came into this connection that was divine and that disrupted everything, and it was necessary. A tower event is an event that comes in and really destroys everything that we've believed in, everything that we kind of built up and held onto and had faith in. And suddenly we find out through one spectacular event, often a divinely led event, that it wasn't as it seemed, that the tower that we built wasn't as strong as we thought it would be. And it just didn't hold up. Ultimately it did not hold up. Now we have the 7 of Cups here also. Unrealistic expectations, pie in the sky, wishing on that genie in the lamp. The 7 of Cups is dreaming for things that oftentimes, are we willing to actually work for them, right? Do we know what it takes? Are they achievable? Are they the right thing even to wish for and to dream for? Especially in regards to a pick a card reading where we talk about no contact. It feels here like, yeah, there may have been dreams and aspirations in this relationship, maybe that were even sold to you, maybe it almost feels like one of the things that may have happened, especially in light of the tower, is that, there was an an idea of a connection or a love relationship or a life together that was perhaps even sold to you, offered to you, that wasn't what it was supposed to be, that wasn't achievable, right? That was never going to be achievable. Or maybe you were living a life with somebody and you found out that it was all a lie. Ultimately, there was a moving away, leaving. Some of you have absolutely left physically. So not only is there no contact, but you may have moved, you may have changed jobs, changed residence, you may have moved to another country. Six of Swords is packing it all up and deciding, I've had enough. I've had enough of the turmoil. I've had enough of, I'm going to say, the dishonesty here. There's definitely a feeling of dishonesty. All right. Let's go a little bit deeper, pull out some more cards. We have the Ace of Pentacles. Interesting. And there's your Death. There's the change. And the King of Wands. Wow. So the Ace of Pentacles, this was the dream, I believe. So in this pile, we're talking about a situation where there was a dream offered, a promise offered of a new life, or a new connection, a life that involved abundance and security and happiness, the opportunity for prosperity, and it was shattered with that Tower, absolutely shattered. Something came out and you found out it just wasn't true, right? Something came out and you absolutely found out it wasn't true, and it absolutely killed this connection, everything that you had held on to. And perhaps this is why there's no contact. I think there was a great betrayal that happened here, certainly a deception, certainly a lie, and it forever changed this connection. Death is a permanent change. That's what makes it so intense and so difficult to deal with. All change is necessary, but the first step of any ultimate change or transformation is the dying of what currently is. What currently is must die in order for what is to come can come. So yeah, there's no going back here. I think this no contact situation is quite permanent. Take it as it resonates for you, but it feels to me very much like it's quite permanent. And your person knows this, absolutely knows this. Your person knows that it's over. Your person realizes that. And I think that they, whether or not they're coming to terms with that in the way that you'd like, they know it, right? There's no chance here. Now, King of Wands, Six of Swords. The King of Wands is fiery and independent, individual, idealistic, right? I believe this King of Wands is very much resonating with you. You have lent into your power and you've sort of ascended to your throne, as it were. And you've taken that power, that knowing, that wisdom, that experience, that uniqueness, that ability to lead yourself, right? To be the master of your own life. You've taken that and you've left with that. You've taken that and gone. Oftentimes, court cards can indicate others involved, but in this scenario, I feel this is very much your energy having fully realized that there is no turning back. The one thing about the King of Wands is that he is absolutely uncompromising, right? So once his mind is made up, it's made up, and that's what I feel here strongly with this death, the Tower moment, that this no contact situation is quite permanent, and your person knows that it is permanent. Now, how are they feeling about it? Well, doubt and cold, right? They may be doubting themselves. I think that the thing is that the feeling here with this doubt energy and this coldness is not so much that they doubt your resolve, but they they're beginning to doubt themselves. Whatever they brought to the table, whatever toxicity, and let's be clear, no contact situations happen because of toxicity, right? Whenever you have to get to a place where you cannot deal with that person anymore, you have to have a no contact, it's because of toxicity. And this person is finally beginning to doubt themselves and their actions and their own resolve. I think perhaps up until now they have been quite emboldened and quite sure of themselves, but now they're doubting themselves. And they're doubting themselves because of the permanence of this no contact. There's a coldness here, and I think this coldness is yours, right? You may be coming off quite cold to them. There's a feeling here that maybe times in the past, you know, this may have been the no contact, the final no contact after many no contacts before. And this time it's different because this time there's a coldness here. They feel the coldness from you. They know that there's nothing left to come back to. They know that it is over. Your support, teaching, this is the teaching moment. This is your support. And I think you realize that. You know that you've learned something out of this. You've come out of this very strong. Cosmic Egg, King of Wands, teaching as your support. Very strong energy. There's no doubt in your mind that you've done the right thing. And coming to a reading and wondering what they're thinking, that's human, right? But nevertheless, I don't think it changes your resolve. And I think more than anything, if there are any doubts on your behalf, I'm leaning into the fact that this has been a teaching moment. This has been a teaching experience for you to learn more about yourself, maybe to learn how strong you can be. Because again, the King of Wands, Fire of Fire, is the strongest court card in the deck, right? The one with the most resolve, the most strength to stay the course and continue pursuing his vision of his life. And so teaching is there for you. This is, and when I say teaching, I mean learning something. Not everything is a lesson in the sense that, hey, you needed to learn a lesson, right? That's the connotation that we have. In this scenario, you're learning, it's not so much that you're learning a lesson, but you're learning a deeper level of yourself. With that comes confidence and renewal, the absolute renewal. Sea Serpent energy is there too, creativity. Also, I think embodying a sense of recreating yourself in a stronger version of yourself. And all of this is absolutely, I'm going to say it's empowering. Out of anything, you are empowered through this last final no contact scenario. Some of you are dealing with a Virgo. I'm going to pull out two more. Some of you are dealing with an Aquarius energy. And one more. Some of you are dealing with a Gemini. All right, so we have two air and an earth energy there. Take that how it comes to you. If you'd like to get your own reading, your own personal reading into a no contact situation that you're currently in, and you'd like to know a little bit more, there are a variety of readings that I offer. They're linked in the description, in the comments. I also provide a 10-minute question and answer session, which is delivered to you the same day of ordering and paying for that reading, and that information will be at the bottom of the screen. But for right now, everyone, thank you so much for joining me, Bow and Arrow Tarot, for this pick a card reading. No contact, but what are they thinking now? I do hope it gave you some insight. I do hope it resonated for you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And that's it, folks. I hope to see you right back here for your next pick a card tarot love reading. Bye now.